Hi there, my name is Zach, and I have the goal of reaching the Brisbane Olympics 2032 marathon. Now, as you can see on the screen right here, these are my current PBs, and I'm a long way from making that dream a goal. But I'm hoping, with a lot of determination, patience, and hard work, that I can make it. I would love it if you guys could join me on my journey to go from a below average runner, to a pro. With that said, let's get into today's video.
Welcome back, guys. Today what I want to do is I want to go through, because I'm at the end of my third block of training. Now, I don't do a very standard base build, peak sort of training block. I just do a lot of base building, but each one is continuously getting harder. And so I'm at the end of my third block. And so what I want to do today is compare and contrast 3 different sessions I do across each of the 3 blocks. It's very interesting to see where I started and where I'm at now. So let's dive in. All right, so I'm going to use 17th of Feb as my baseline for this. So I started the session, this training block in end of January, roughly Australia Day, so 26th of January, that weekend. Now this is probably 2 or 3 weeks in, and so what you can see here, so this is my my easy run. So it was 45 minutes, but what you can see is I did 4 minutes of warm-up, 37 minutes easy, 4 minutes of cool down. So what I'm only going to be comparing is this main section. So here what I did, so it's 37 minutes at 201 watts, and so 137 beats per minute. Keep that in mind. So 8:36 per K was my average pace. Now, I'm not gonna like that. 8:36 is slow, but what it is doing, it is setting the foundation. If I were to move on to the second block, which is, so let's go to the 12th of May, so that's 3 months later. So this is in the middle of, the block, 12th of May. So you can see here, I'm now doing 6-minute warm-up and 6-minute cool down. So 2 minutes longer up and down, but I'm also doing an hour 15 instead of 37 minutes. Pace is the same, 8 minutes 30, 5 to 6 minutes per K faster, but 130 beats per minute. So not only am I doing I'm doing double the time, I'm doing slightly faster, and I'm doing it at a lot lower heart rate. So I'm getting more efficient at this pace and at a slightly faster pace. We move into the final block and we move into this week. So this is my easy run that I did this week, about 4 months later than that. So you can see, again, I'm still doing 6-minute warm up, 6-minute cool down. Now this is an hour 10, so it's 5 minutes less than the last lot, but I'm doing it 7:45 per K at 130 beats per minute. So I'm the exact same heart rate, but I'm 45 seconds per kilometer faster. So not only am I now staying efficient at the lower, easier paces, I'm going faster at those easier paces. So now my easy pace is 7:45 per K instead of 8 or 8:30 per K, but I'm going at 130 beats per minute. Now my zone 2 is around about 122 beats to 148 beats per minute, that is. So 130 beats per minute is on bottom of zone 2. Now you really want to keep your zones below, within that band. So even pushing top of zone 2 is kind of fine, but I'm at the bottom, only going to get faster from here. Let's now have a look at a different session. So what I do is I do an easy session, I then have an interval session, and then I've also got a more tempo session. So we'll next move into the intervals. Okay, and so we're back in February. As you can see, again, I'm doing 4-minute warm-up. Here's 4-minute cool down, but I'm doing 2-minute intervals. So I did also have an 8-minute, block at kind of moderate into kind of easy zone 2, just to warm the body up. Then you're doing 2-minute reps. So you can see I did 5 by 2 minutes. Now these 2-minute reps are at 280 watts. So roughly, if you watched my video last week, you'll see I did tempo session that was 2 hours long at 285 watts. So basically what this intensity is. So 606 per K, Started at 143 beats, and by the end of it, my heart rate was like 156. So not too high, definitely zone 3 sort of intensity, but it would definitely I felt it. And you can see, the paces are 606, 608, 604, 6 to 610 essentially. Now, if we were to then now move into May, and so here we are in the second block, and you can see I'm not doing 5, I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 by 2 minutes. So I've gone from 5 by 2 minutes to 11 by 2 minutes. Now you can see that my power roughly the same, pace roughly the same, but I'm managing to keep the heart rate a bit lower. So my heart rate does get up, but it definitely stays more in the lower 150s, and I'm able to do a lot more volume as such. So instead of doing 10 minutes of volume, so 5 by 2 minutes, I'm now doing 22 minutes of volume, 11 by 2 minutes. So I'm doing twice the amount of volume, similar sort of paces. You can see at the end it actually gets a bit faster, 556, 557. But all in all, you can see it's roughly the similar sort of intensity, just more of it. So the exact same as the easy runs, where I increased the volume, but my paces were roughly the same, and I'm keeping the intensity a bit lower. So I'm getting more efficient at these paces. Now, if we're looking at September and we look at the intervals I did, you can see I'm not doing as many. This week I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So one interval session less, but they're 5 minutes, not 2 minutes. So instead of doing 22 minutes of volume, as I did in the last one, which was 11 by 2 minutes, this is 10 by 5. So instead of 22 minutes, it's now 50 minutes of volume. What you're also seeing is my pace is much higher, 546, 549, 548. So it's 15 to 20 seconds per kilometer faster. I'm doing 5-minute sessions instead of 2 minutes. Plus my heart rate, you can see 146, 146, 148, 148. So it's basically just the bottom of zone 3. The other ones were more middle to top of zone 3, whereas this, very clearly, bottom of zone 3. I'm getting more efficient, more effective at these sort of paces. And that is my 100% my training philosophy. You can see my critical power here was 299, essentially my threshold. But I'm doing here 293, 291, 289, 288. I'm staying just below the threshold. So I'm pushing that threshold up by doing lots of volume just below it. And that means I can do more without risking, there's still the potential for injury and illness. It's just a bit less than if you were constantly pushing, the boundaries up. Finally, let's have a look at more of my steady state tempo sort of sessions. So here we have the tempo run. And so what I always do is I always have a bit of like easy zone 2, and then I go into the zone 3, into the steady state, and then I do another cool down more of the zone 2. So you can see here, 233 watts for 12 minutes, 7 minutes 35 per K, and my average heart rate was 148 beats per minute. So it's basically the top of zone 2, bottom zone 3. I'm fairly happy with that. Now, what you can see, so 12 minutes at 735 pace. Let's now have a look. So 148 beats, moving back into May. So now instead of doing 12 minutes, I'm doing 42 minutes. So 30 minutes more, 707 instead of 735 for 145 beats per minute. So instead of being the bottom of zone 3, I'm now in the top of zone 2. So I've lowered the sort of intensity I'm doing. I've increased the pace by about 20 seconds per K, and I have trebled the amount of time I'm spending at that sort of pace. When you compare and contrast that to what I'm doing now in September, so here's the tempo run I did early in the week. So I spent an hour at tempo. So again, so instead of doing 43? So now it's another 50%. So another 20 minutes of volume. It's down to 6 minutes and 40 seconds per K from 710. So I'm 30 seconds per K faster, but actually my heart rate's the same. So it's 146 versus 146. I'm getting, as you can see in the trend for the whole thing, more efficient, more effective at all these different pace ranges. And this is exactly what I want to do. I don't want to just be pushing and going, 3 minutes per K and going, seeing how long I can go. No, I want to get very effective at 8:30, 8, 7:30, 7, 7, 6:30, 6, all the different brackets. I want to slowly push it up, get very good, very effective at the whole pace range. Or you go on your easy runs and you're like, well, I can't do an easy run slower than 4 minutes per K. Well, you're just going to burn out. You're going to be pushing too hard, too fast, get injured, get sick. I do not want any of that. I want to stay on it as much as I can. So thank you guys for watching. If you like this sort of content, make sure you like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. If you have made it to this point, I think something like almost 70% of my viewership is not actually subscribed. So please, guys, really helps out the channel. And I really appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys next week.